Welcome back. Today we are in Proverbs chapter 22 verse 24. Proverbs 22:24. It says, "Make no friendships with an angry man, and with a furious man do not go, lest you learn his ways and set a snare for your son." So it says, don't go with an angry man. Angry men are not in control of their emotions, because yes, anger is an emotion and it's a scary one. So don't go with them. Instead, go with people who are at peace and who are peaceful and loving. And the angry men, because they're angry, they're not going to make great decisions, and they're going to teach you to not make great decisions either. And it's not going to affect you as much, or it could affect you, but it'll affect those who love you, who depend on you, like your children. So that's why it says don't do it. Verse 26 says, "Do not be one who shakes hands in a pledge, one of those who is surety for debts. If you have nothing to pay for with which to pay, why should he take away your bread from under you?" So this is another one that says, hey, don't get into a deal where you have to pay for somebody else. And so the idea is, let's say you want to rent a house, right? But you don't have enough money to rent a house, or you have enough money but you don't have enough credit to rent a house. And the landlord of the house says, "I don't know if I should rent to you. I'm afraid I won't get my rent every month." And you're like, "Well, I got this buddy here. He'll co-sign, and then if I don't pay, he promises he'll pay." And the landlord is like, "Fine, as long as somebody's paying. That guy's got a good job and he signs and he's contractually obligated to get it. And the landlord can go after him legally if you don't pay." The Bible says don't be that friend, because if the person who is trying to rent the apartment can't pay for that apartment, then it's on you, and you might not know about it at first. You just might get notified, or maybe you won't get notified by the landlord at first, because he goes after the first guy, and then after a couple of months he comes after you, and it's so much money that you didn't expect to spend. It's like, well, I don't have that money on hand, and then he takes what he can to get it back. And so it's just not a good financial situation. So this is the financial advice of the Bible. Don't let anybody else make promises that you have to keep. So you are responsible for you. That person is responsible for himself, and you need to help your friends know that they need to be responsible for themselves, and you don't just co-sign for them, because it's not going to work out. There's a reason that they need you to co-sign. They're not responsible enough to do it on their own anyway. Verse 27 says, I read that one. 28 says, "Do not remove the ancient landmark which your fathers have set." Your fathers set these landmarks to be a reminder of either where the land starts and stops. And if that's the case, if it's a marking for our land, if you move it, then that's cheating. You are cheating your neighbor and stealing his land. And God doesn't like that at all. Or some landmarks are memorial, that it's supposed to be remember some great thing that God did, and if we remove them, then we're forgetting. We are choosing to forget the great things that God did in the past, and that's not a good sign. So leave landmarks alone. Verse 29 says, "Do you see a man who excels at his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before unknown men." So if you see someone who's working hard, God's going to reward that person by moving them up in whatever company or whatever situation they're in. They're going to be doing better because they work hard. The Bible says that we should work unto the Lord, and you need to work unto the Lord. Pretend like Jesus is your boss, that he's standing over your shoulder looking at what you're doing. Is what you're doing good enough for Jesus at whatever job you do? Or are you just kind of being lazy about it and doing it halfway? And like, yeah, that's good enough. It's not good enough. It requires your best, and if you can't give it your best, you don't really need to be there. You need to be somewhere else. So pray to the Lord and ask Him to help you do your best where you are, or move you to some place where you would be better suited to help the company and then help yourself as well. Because we are witnesses. If they hire a Christian knowing that we're Christian and we don't do good work, they're going to say, "Well, I tried hiring a Christian. He didn't do good work, so I'm not going to hire any more Christians." They're lazy, and we don't want to give off that reputation either. We want to be hardworking individuals, and we want to be known as hardworking individuals, where someone will hire us even if they're not Christian and go, "Wow, this person works so hard, this person's such a strong Christian. I should hire other strong Christians, because then my work would get done better and be less complaining." And how cool would that be, to surround yourself with Christians in a non-Christian workplace because of how good you worked? Well, give that a try, and God bless you. Have a nice day.